viewer discretion is a view.
So there's something really weighing on my mind these past couple days. I care about the new Teapot episode.
Last time on Alodahan's YouTube channel. One compliment I can always give this season, even early on, is that it never stagnated. Well, needless to say, I was wrong. Dead f***ing. Whew. Didn't expect to be back here so early. Now, I had plans this summer. Got a Rick and Morty video to work on, and then watching everyone else have fun at VidCon knowing I could have went there, but f*** it, I like having money. But hey, at least I know I wasn't missing much. That new episode, huh? What did you think? I have no access to the general public, but going off my experience of fandoms, I take it this one's gonna be one of those controversial episodes. Given the time between the last one, subject matter, and plot relevance, or lack thereof, I can wager this is something the community will have some opinions about. But what did I think of it? I think it gave me a perfect excuse to discuss something relating to it. That being... Please note the disclaimer. So I don't know if you noticed this, but the consensus on filler episodes has been swaying a bit these past couple years. It's a lot more nuanced than your typical no plot relevance equals bad. And then talk the f***ing air conditioner, this recording is garbage! People can now see the importance of the mundane, or just have fun with it. Praise an episode for its qualities outside of any practical purpose. Not every episode needs to develop this big plot. Some can just have characters vibe it out. Hell, some that people claim to be filler can have a secret purpose that pays off later. However, I've also noticed a trend that the shows I've been watching as of late. As shows these days get more and more serialized, the pressure is on to not have filler. Especially with how little episodes they're getting, wasting time can break the pace of your show significantly. And the funny part about that is, some of the seasons I've been watching these days sure love to revel in wasting that time. Rather it be The Bear Season 3, Invincible Season 3, or ReZero Season 3. Haven't finished that one yet, just want to see if y'all are paying attention. The amount of time just flapping about is pretty major. They don't have this deeper meaning that makes sense later, and I'm all for that. But to be honest, of how many of these type of seasons are coming out, it's really testing my patience to have to wait for a purpose. And it's not every show that's doing this, hell, it's a minority of the ones I've been watching. But it's starting to get to be a little bit. And I can tell it's like that for others too. Which brings me to the subject in question. Now, is this episode filler? Yeah, pretty blatantly. It takes up until the end for anything plot relevant to kick in. The whole episode is just the BFB mates doing a challenge of little purpose to the overall story. And this does matter because this is Teapot, the season with all the biggest overarching stories and plots to date. So taking a break from all that to find Lala Loopsy's memory card is gonna feel like a waste of time. Not to mention, this is an episode they premiered to the biggest convention for online creators from their biggest season yet. And it's pretty low stakes, it has little scope. Also, the challenge being some Nolan-ass memory mumbo jumbo is maybe not the right call for this simple, fun episode. So yeah, I don't blame others for feeling like this one was a waste. And I don't think it's entirely because they have an aversion to filler. BFDIA 13 is technically filler, and that's the one they bullied Sam for not making. Not helping is that it surrounds the most unpopular cast, one that I'm sure fans will be looking forward to seeing again, just not after that cliffhanger last episode. And the problem with stuff they do have could have been an email. Like, yeah, it's cute seeing Match get along with the girls, but something that simple being to pay off to 3 episodes worth of build-up probably won't be enough for some people. In fact, every plot relevant is sort of left small and vague, which is fine for what they're trying to set up, you know, eat your veggies before you're caking. But that being the only thing of note in your episode, in a continuity-based season, yeah, I can see why this one wouldn't do it for some people. And the funny thing is, you didn't even need this to be a Teapot episode at all. You could have just had this be a BFB reunion and dodge almost all of these problems.
However,
there are some arguments for why all those complaints are kind of bullshit. Well, one argument. That being this ad. This episode was advertised as a small fun romp with the old crew. Like nothing more,
and nothing less.
Look, there it is, right there.
This one was made purely for those who seek the cast of old. And you can't say that's not what it is. They do a challenge, it's low stakes with little ambition, jokes are had, with some plot relevance sprinkled in. And this wasn't an episode they needed to make at all. The crew clearly just wanted to play with these guys once more, dust off the old toy box and all. It was the Harlan and the crew have a little fun before the big game. And that's what I see this episode as. A calm before the storm. An Ant-Man and the Wasp before Endgame, if you will. Once the next episode releases, the anger that this one might have had will subside. And they even promised a big plot episode in the same ad. They knew what the fans wanted. Besides, for how much crap post-split gets, the fans deserve a little treat for their 4 years of patience. Now, what does Alodahan think? I'm sure you're asking. It's fine. Probably the weakest TPOT episode, as it's not one at all, and I'm already impartial to the cast it's reuniting. But I had some fun with it. The contestants who are good get to have some fun moments. Lollipop and Blocky have a cute little rivalry. The challenge is hard to get into, but I eventually got into it. Hey, post rewatch here, it actually does have a bit to add to these characters than I gave it credit for originally. Woody has a nice little arc about not sweating the small stuff with Spongy. Spongy and Taco have a nice scene paying off their relationship with BFB. Loser gets to see how Winner is doing through Thor's memory. Bubble has a nice scene seeing Mash distressed. We get a glimpse into Flower and Jelly Boy's business, though I don't exactly get how that scene went down, but it's cute seeing Lollipop being menaced again. Speaking of, I liked the bits with the crew reacting or messing with each other's memories. Flowers and Gelatin's reaction to Tacos being my favorite. And the ending battle is pretty creative, it does build up pretty well. It's where all the scope of this episode went to, and it's pretty well done. Okay, post rewatching out. Plus, the backgrounds do offer a nice change of pace, and the animation here is pretty good as always. It's nice to see different shot types of this season, and the new animators' take on these characters. The expression work is a big improvement overall. Though I do have my gripes outside of the stuff I mentioned. One, yeah, that challenge is pretty confusing at first. I eventually got it with the symbols and all, but the way it's paced does make it hard to follow. I didn't even get that 4 messed up the order on the first watch. Funny twist, but could have been conveyed more clearly. I feel a visual challenge explanation was very much needed here. I get the need to want to show the rules and let the audience pick it up for themselves, but for a challenge this abstract, a little hand-holding would have been nice at a certain point. Or I guess something I originally just thought of, maybe show a memory we already saw more definitively for the first time, so that way we know what's going on more clearly rather than just Bubble in a beach. Where the fuck's a beach? What is a beach? Also, they made profiling a plot device. You can't do that, no! The code is washed! How the fuck am I supposed to recover? And damn, they really don't give a damn about ballooning, huh? So overall, it's a part of the split itself. A little more fun than the average episode there, though. In fact, for being Teapot's worst, I still prefer it over the duds the others got. Maybe it's because my expectations were leveled by knowing what the episode was gonna be beforehand. Can't get mad at any direct for not having Smash 6 after all. But I hope this video made this clear. I do get where folks are coming from. And at the end of the day, both ends of the spectrum are valid.
Except no, this episode sucks. Nothing happens. The challenge made no sense. Why was there a challenge when there's no competition? Flower already won. Pack it up, people. What does Blocky winning the challenge have anything to do with Teapot? Is he gonna join the game? Like, if that's not what they're planning, then what was the purpose of any of this? This is just filler. This is filler, and I don't appreciate it. Why was there 2 of each of them when just one of them could have served the same purpose in the episode? This isn't Noah's Ark. This isn't Evan Almighty with Steve Carell. What the
You're a dick, Teddy.
I know.